Howdy folks, and welcome to Fort Widley, a very windy day at Combat South's urban playing site. You've seen the woodland site, this is the urban environment. Now, Fort Widley is one of the Palmerston forts, also known as the Palmerston Follies, constructed during the Napoleonic Wars to defend Britain from a French invasion. The idea was that it wasn't likely to be possible to prevent the French from landing in Portsmouth, although they did build a whole bunch of sea forts out in the harbour to make it as costly as possible for them. There's one right there. But the idea being that they could take Portsmouth, but this ring of forts surrounding the city would prevent them from ever breaking out and invading inland. Of course, they built all of these forts at tremendous expense, and Napoleon never invaded. But Lord Palmerston's loss is our gain, because it means we can run around inside these things, spitting hot plastic death at each other. Now, games at the woodland site regularly accommodate 100 to 150 players. We've had as many as 500. Not so much at the urban site. As you'll see when we see some of the gameplay footage, you can't really accommodate more than 25 to 30 players comfortably and have a good game for everybody. So they don't run games here quite as often as they do at the woodland site. So unlike at the woodland site, where you can just turn up on a Sunday, pay your money and play, games at Combat South Urban are by booking only, and you really do need to check Combat South's Facebook page to see when they're actually running an urban game. Of course, the thing you have to realise about playing at Combat South Urban is this place was actually designed to repulse infantry attacks. So you might be thinking to yourself, bloody hell, Jingles, what chance do the attacking team stand? And it's a good question. Glad you asked. When we first started running games at Combat South Urban, myself and one of my teammates, Carl, were the guys responsible for running the games, and we realised very, very early on that things were heavily in favour of the defenders, as you'd expect. This is a fortress after all. So in order to ensure that both sides actually had an enjoyable game, you have to take certain measures to ensure that the attackers actually have a chance of completing their objectives. To do that, what you do is you give the defenders one life at each defensive point. As soon as the defender is taken out, they have to go back to the next defensive feature within the fort, respawn there, and wait for the attackers to get to them. The attackers get unlimited respawns, so there's an unlimited supply of attacking team members and a very limited supply of defending team members. And then what you do is you run the same game again, but you swap the teams around. And the team that wins overall is the team that completes its attack in the shortest time. Now, if you're fighting in an urban environment for real, the last thing you want to do is breach and clear a defended building. If there's, man-ass shot there. There it is. There it is. There, a bit of hot fat man-ass. That's what you come and watch my Airsoft videos for. Well, where were we? Yeah. Breaching and clearing a defended building is one of the last things you want to have to do if you're fighting for real in an urban environment. It's far safer to use other means to neutralise an occupied enemy building, like artillery. But if you have to do it, you're going to want lots and lots of explosives, lots of flashbangs, lots of grenades, lots of smoke. And that holds true here as well. So, yes, Combat South do make a fortune selling pyrotechnics whenever they run an urban day. And this is always the trickiest part, getting that initial breach. And it's kind of like watching a bunch of guys play World of Tanks stacking up on a corner. None of them wants to be the one to go around that corner first. And you really should have popped a grenade in there first, because, yeah.
Where are we going?
Up Steve on the chair and then you're straight back in.
Did you notice that? He's covered in armour and webbing and protection from head to foot, and he gets hit right in the end of the nose.
That was in the first game.
There we go. Get some pyros in, get in through those windows. They finally made the initial breach.
to watch the door, the rest of us get going.
Yeah, we upstairs.
Hey! Oh, you can't have it.
There's one defender left in there. He's keeping the entire attacking team stalled in this initial entry point. They just couldn't get him out.
Guys, we don't need everyone here at this thing. We've got 3 guys show up. Come on, 1 million guys here.
Some of the more aggressive team members trying to get this attack going.
Out the window, okay?
Yeah, that's it. Straight up through there now.
Yep.
There's one guy at the very back.
The very back.
There was only one who couldn't get through because they were stuck on the stairs.
Okay, I've got this tunnel covered, move.
I've still not got the bomb expert yet.
Mate, 6 years down.
Attacking team finally makes it up into the surface. But their problems are only just beginning. Switching perspective to the defending team for a moment, there are some people in some very sneaky positions with excellent fields of fire and anybody trying to break out of the interior. If you turn the camera around for a second and look down, right down there, that's where the attacking team started off. They had to fight their way up 3 floors before they could finally break out into the open up here. And they're only halfway there. It's a very windy day here today, so apologies for the wind noise in the background. They still haven't spotted that guy in the long grass, by the way. And he was racking up the kills. There he is. He was just firing short bursts. Made sure nobody was looking his way and just plugged them in the back over and over and over. Not one of them saw him. Of course, I have to be careful I don't make it obvious that I'm pointing the camera at him and draw their attention to his position, give his position away. There he is. Look at that sneaky little bugger. Point the camera at him and act casual. In case you were wondering just how far the attacking team have gotten, they're about halfway. After this, well, they have to fight their way along a rampart and then go down 3 flights of stairs in order to come out the trench on the other side. Essentially a reverse of what they've done to get this far. little ninja here has been racking up the kills. It's only now that they actually spotted him in this long grass on top of the rampart and eventually took him out, but he must have taken out 10 of the attackers easily. There he goes, he's hit now. The attack stalled again. They still haven't managed to push through this section. And there's always the same players who are in front. I don't know if you've noticed this fella here. Every time he's leading the attack. And the thing is, if he gets shot, big deal. All he has to do is fall back 50 metres, wait a minute, and he's straight back in again. And eventually, thanks to players like this guy, the yellow team managed to secure the area. And then it's on with the mission objective. Through there is a place we call the Crow's Nest. And in the Crow's Nest, there is some explosives, which the attacking team have to secure in order to complete the mission objective, which is to eventually find their way through the rest of the fort and place the explosives at the location at the end. With the Crow's Nest secured, we call a 5-minute break, allow both teams time to replenish their ammunition, consolidate their positions. Marshall there is briefing the yellow team on what they have to do from this point on. They're going to have to fight out of this Crow's Nest area. You can see the 2 green tubes there, that represents the explosives that they have to carry from this point through to the end of the fort. They're going to have to find their way along a rampart and then down 3 more levels, essentially reverse of what they did to get all the way up here, in order to finish this game. And it's not going to be easy.
Well, that's not going to end well. There we go. You can shoot Jack, Rob. He's the only person allowed to shoot. Go back, Carl. Now he's on the other team.
Defenders cut down the first rush from the attacking team. And do you remember our little friend, the ninja, from earlier? Get a load of this. Here he comes. He's just picking them off one by one. Things were going really, really badly for the attacking team here. They couldn't even break out of the Crow's Nest. The defenders just had them all bottled up in there.
Much easier to get around. Right, go down there. Go respawn.
I think the yellows have just figured out at this point that the best way of getting out of this spawn point is just to get shot. Then head back to the respawn.
Come on, yellow team, they've only got 1 life each.
What you're going to notice here is that red team have just captured the Crow's Nest, and that is the explosives.
Running the game, Jack.
That's the explosives that yellow team need to win the game. They've left them in there. Red team have now captured them.
Red team are just totally owning this game. They're so much more
Red
aggressive.
inside here, you need to dislodge him from inside here.
In case it's not immediately apparent what's just happened, the attacking team have actually been pushed back. They're further back now than where they attacked from. That's how badly they're getting their asses handed to them.
No, I went over, sorry.
That was a friendly fire kill.
Yellow team eventually managed to push forward and reoccupy the position that they were in 15 minutes ago, thanks largely to the efforts of players like this fella who's always at the front. When Yellow team finally fight their way out of the starting area, this is what they have to look forward to. Now, can you guess? I mean, you can see, if you know where to look, two of them. Red team members hiding in that thick bush over on the left. There's one. There's another one about 5 meters in front of him. There were actually about 15 of them hidden in those bushes. And the red team were going to make the yellow team pay for every inch of ground they cover coming up this rampart. Remember, as soon as a defender is hit, they only have one life. They have to fall back, take up a defensive position at the next defensive point. Attackers have unlimited lives.
Not shot. He had it coming.
His team. Okay, Carl. Carl, that kills people. Fucking hell, what you shooting me then? Ninja.
Not shot. I don't know if you saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah, he's like, "Hi, I have you now." Shit, gun's not working.
Hit, dead play coming out.
What are the kneecap?
Ah, they got him.
I had a few. It's worth it.
Definitely, you must have got 15 of them.
Back there is one of the few places in Combat South Urban where having a sniper rifle would actually be very, very, very useful.
Buddy, we got one right here, then we fall back to the next
This fella back here definitely needs to adjust his hop. Whoever's hosing, his shots are just... Oh, shit!
You're right.
Yeah,
On the fingernail.
right on the fingernail.
Killed about 8.
That was a grenade kill. There's some sneaky little bugger hidden in those bushes.
You know, I've been up here for such a long time that this is just so overgrown compared to what it has been.
Yeah.
Coming out there, that red team member, he actually let them get past him before he opened up and just cut down a whole bunch of the attackers. What a ninja.
Left of the barrel! Let him out. Coming out.
Dead bush coming out.
Man, the amount of reds hiding in those bushes is unbelievable. Ah, sneaky little bastard. There's another one. They're coming down here thinking, I'm sure there was more reds than this. They're all in the bushes.
You could do with a thermal imaging camera.
Yeah.
You know, then you'd be able to point them out.
Go to infrared, people. What if they don't show up on infrared? Oh, I felt that one. He's hit, he's hit.
Eventually. Hang out. I'm going to stand by you for a second.
It's not safe near me, trust me.
Mate, if you need to go respawn, mate.
Right on the inside in the armpit.
Yeah. Go on, because you're in line of fire, mate.
Nice pants.
Try firing.
Don't tell him.
Someone kill him.
Keep moving!
Right, dead man coming out. Let him go.
Keep moving!
Well done, well played, mate. Ian, I'll go down.
How we doing time-wise? Keep moving, come on.
Badly, but on that, I shall tell you, 12:55.
Got 10 minutes, guys, to clear the next 3 phases.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
It is going to happen. Well, until...
And once again, one member of the red team successfully holds off the entire yellow team. And yeah, it's not real criticism of the yellow team, it's just how easy it is in a nice tight narrow space like this. And that's why they give the attackers infinite lives and the defenders only get 1 life per position. The attackers just have to be aggressive, not care about taking hits. Get up there and weed them out, otherwise they're never going to move on to the next spot. And that's what's happening here, because the yellow team still have 3 more positions to clear after this, and they've only got about 5 minutes left. And it's not going to happen. They finally got him. This man here, after everything you've just seen, he actually waited in these bushes for half an hour. Alright, half an hour.
Note to self, change mags next time.
The yellow team finally cleared this position out, and as they were all stacked up on that door behind him ready to go in, he leapt out of the bushes and went, "Ah!" He'd ran out of ammo. How'd you feel about that, mate?
Quite sick.
Well, we ran out of time in that game. Just to give you an idea, this is what the yellow team were going to have to find their way through. Just to give you an idea of how much more they still had to do. Now, we've turned the lights on here just so I can show you exactly what's going on in here. During the game itself, this was dark. None of these lights were on. So unless anybody brought flares or saloons or surefire torches, they couldn't see a foot in front of their faces. Of course, that works both ways. So you come around here, you've got defenders up there, you've got defenders up there, you've probably got defenders sitting on these stairwells, shooting around the corner there, and then you've got each and every one of these side, well, rooms I suppose you'd call them. And of course they can use these tables to set up barricades, as they have done here. And this has to be cleared before they can make their way down to the next level. And remember, these lights are off. So once they clear this level, they've then got to do it all again. Remember, this is a Napoleonic fort. It was designed to be defended. Come down here, and there's more ambushes waiting on this side, and around here, and you can shoot through that little hole there from people hiding in there, and up here, and the same this side. See a silo down there, somebody tossed down to illuminate the way. And then they've got to do it all again in here. When they get through here, they're not even done. Because then they've got to fight their way all the way back out through the moat.
But that was it for the morning. Back to the safe zone for a spot of lunch. And then the teams swap around, and it's red team's turn to go through the grinder. So that's it for this video, but no visit to a Combat South site would be complete without Rob and his massive nipples.
Yeah, they're still here.
They're still here.
Still real.
Rob with the massive nipples.